bus to Udaipur overnight, leaving here in Bombay at about 9:30. Scheduled to arrive at 12:30 in Udaipur. The Eagle travel bus. There it is. It's a sleeper, so it looks like two levels with sleepers on both levels.
We talk about this a lot too, is that when people can save the life of an animal, it gives them a real lasting high. And that's why street dog sterilization or a particular species of wildlife, or I mean, most organizations don't do street animal rescue. And we feel increasingly strongly that the way to build a compassion and an animal rights movement, I feel like I'm talking to a mic, is by giving people the chance to save those lives, individual by individual lives.
Yeah.
Because it's fantastic feeling.
Well, what you just said, though, I think that's what kind of clued me in, because one other thing we did in New York was we met a Rinpoche from Tibet originally, and he actually has escaped like 3 times from Tibet, and 2 times got nabbed and fairly badly tortured and beaten by the Chinese, but anyway, he's out, and he's created this thing called the Compassion Project. And I was just thinking it would be great to connect what we're trying to do with animals to compassion, so that it was about humans as well as animals, you know.
Yeah. Tell him about Karuna Captain. We have a direct connection with compassion that Claire will...
I don't know that is
Wait,
directed to humans.
I want to say a segue first, because in Irene
That's
Newkirk's speech that we just saw, which is an incredible speech, I'd love
Who is
for
she
Andy
again?
to see it. She's PETA.
PETA.
Sorry, Ingrid.
PETA's founder.
She, I had never been into PETA, and Julie has really opened my eyes to its value. And
You mean you just never knew, yourself...
I always just...
You love it for a long
yeah,
time.
definitely, but I've never really been a... Anyway, one of the things she said is, when people say to her, why animals over people, that she says, compassion is not something that is from a limited kitty, out of which you take a piece and there's less there. It's just like love. The more you give, the more there is.
Yeah, it's
more
not
crows.
some stingy, miserly
Coin
couple
and
piece of filthy coins
Because
that you give
her
to
example,
someone.
the reason why she said that was in her speech. She was saying, when people ask me why am I involved in animal
She happened to
protection
say
and
after
animal
9/11,
rights, and
people
not
asked her
and not
why.
helping people.
Right.
So her response was, compassion is not something that you only have this much of, that you
Yeah.
have to pick and choose where you're going to give it. It should be endless. And
That's good.
And she also made the point that
We should
we've
give you her speech.
we've discovered all along, which she makes the point that there are few times that the people that raise the issue about animals, you can count on it that they're probably not helping anywhere. That anyone who's helped, anyone who's thought that a river was worth cleaning, that a bird that was worth this, that, you know, it understands, gets the underlying thing that there's few people in the world to do it, and just count yourself lucky to have someone who cares about a river, a lake, a tree. And we get it asked every few months.
No, but I want to say one thing, a difference between Indians in general and Western people in general is that we have heard many, many, many times from Westerners, how can you be helping animals when there are starving people? And meaning that animals are lowest on the rung. Why aren't you helping people? And in India, I have never heard that once, and I've only heard very, very frequently people say, wow, in a place where people aren't even helping other people, you guys are helping animals. That's so great and compassionate. And I just think that's a really interesting...
It is interesting psychologically. You know,
And
she's like a whisperer. She talks to dogs and cats and gets on with it. Kamla, this is Andy, Hamara Dost America
Nice to
say.
meet you.
namaste.
Namaste. Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Good. I've heard a lot about you before I came.
Suntata from
Jackie.
From Jackie Bachitio.
Yeah.
After Kam Yahi Hai. So good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
And so Andy, we're seeing the things you don't see here, of course, are the emergency rescue. A lot of animals we treat on the streets. We try to bring medicines and things and not bring them back.
Yeah.
A hospital is not the best place to bring an animal if you don't have to,
Right.
because it'll pick up other crapola.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a big mission. If they need to come back, they do. So that's and then the other one you talked to Claire. That's our program of education.
That's great.
So that's in the schools and at the police tanas and with the administration.
Right.
We've spoken at the Rotary Club, the Lions Club. You know,
Very good.
just
Yeah.
letting them know that we're here and trying to do a job. And then the other program we have, and if we have a second, it's an 8-minute walk from here. We'll take of that at no charge for a month here, and we'll teach them that stuff. And so there's a lot to offer for it, but it's amazing. It takes a special person, because it's not about being just rich.
Yeah.
You might have to be a little well-to-do, but it's a certain person that is not without self-interest, but to think of animals and that work as a worthy place to put your time in life.
Yeah.
And that's not easy picking.
Mom, why are we going in here? We've got to find Chinky first anyway.
Let's just go show him first. I don't know where she lives.
I'll just go find where she lives, okay?
Diane's home, one of the wonderful rooms in just outside of Udaipur, a beautiful village with the Bio Aboriginal people just nearby. It's about sunset on the 21st of September, so I think it's the beginning of fall. Thank you, Diane. It's a beautiful place, has a beautiful garden.
Right now, we're not doing the spay-neuter program. Typically, a dog would come in here, would be shaved here, get prepared. We would notch the ear with the electricity so we would see not to pick it up again, and then the operation would take place in here. We don't go in just to keep our feet and the infectious diseases, away.
Yeah.
But we have 2 of our operating tables, so we have 3 veterinary doctors. 2 doctors would be working in tandem, so the dogs that were caught would come in the morning, and then maybe 11 o'clock, we would do 8, 9, 10, 11 operations, and then they would be put back into their cages, and then 2 days later, if there's no infection or whatever, then they would be going back into the city.
That's great.
And they would also get a rabies vaccination and a full body check.
Yeah.
Tumors, problems with urinary tract, all the things that could be. And then in here is our medicine line. It turns out that by American standards, this is so cheap, it's unbelievable. But it's still $6,500 a month we have to raise.
For the whole hospital.
For the whole operation, staff and gas and petrol and medicines, and about a third of it is actually medicine. Some of our medicines, even though we get discounts in India and prices are cheaper here, still the amount of medicine, because every animal is infectious that we're dealing with. If it's not lungs, it's this. And so we're giving a huge chunk of medicine. And that's a good boy. Yes, that's right. Hello, sweetie. Here's also a good boy.
What's your name?
My name is Mukesh.
Mukesh?
Mukesh.
Mukesh. Nice to meet you. Andy.
He's a good guy here. He's got we're very pleased. We've got some really nice people.
Really great.
We're getting so much pressure on the population on the other side that we're bringing animals here. Hello.